Quiz time! What brand has had the most meteoric rise in Malaysia in recent times? Well, it has to be Jetour, with this cherry offshoot bringing in the T2 and racking in huge sales numbers within just a few months of introduction. Now, they want to repeat that with this baby SUV, the T1. Not so baby lah, actually quite big also. Okay, you know the prices, you know the specs. Now in this video, let's find out a bit behind the scenes what the first impressions are about this car. Let's go.
We'll start with the design, and the T1 takes a noticeably softer approach to SUV styling compared to its bolder, brasher T2 sibling. Both models share the same wheelbase, and while they also share the same boxy, adventure-inspired silhouette, the T1 is a little bit more softer, gentler compared to the T2 because of its rounded edges and more gentle surfacing. It's a little bit more understated, but I think it looks quite good in malls or maybe even a bit of the atas places. Now, as for the two variants, the 1.5 and the 2 liter, visual differences are rather minimal. The more expensive 2 liter variant gets larger alloy wheels and an XWD badging to denote its all-wheel drive system. Other than that, they all look the same.
So you join me today in the Jetour T1 1.5, the smaller engine, the base spec, not the 2 liter turbocharged variant. Anyways, we have about a 300 km trek back to KL from Dungun, Terengganu, so we'll see how the car fares along the way. A point to note, however, that this car has already made the 443 km trek from KL to Terengganu yesterday. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to drive this back all the way to KL, and then over there, we'll take the average fuel consumption reading. Alright, so another thing is, this car hasn't been broken in just yet because the odo only reads 788 km, so let's see. The interior appointments of the Jetour T1 1.5 is quite similar to what is offered on the 2 liter, save for a few minor differences. You still get a digital instrument cluster, but your infotainment screen is a bit smaller in this variant compared to the more expensive 2 liter car. On the passenger side, there is a lit up topology of the world, I think, and a small cubby to keep your phone and also small items. The biggest difference is the passenger front seat. In the 2 liter, that one folds out like an Ottoman style, so the passenger can actually lie flat and kick their feet up. You can't do that in the 1.5. Sitting in the second row of the Jetour T1 does have its benefits. For one, there's a lot of space. For example, this is my headroom. I'm about 175 cm tall and I've got about 2 fists worth of headroom. I'm not even slouching, I'm sitting properly up here. And legroom is pretty generous as well, and that's with the front seat at a rather bad position. Driving the T1 long distance, and the first thing that's apparent is that noise isolation isn't the best. I've had experience better, even in cars of similar price ranges, and while driving 110 kilometers an hour, it's really not that impressive. Once again, it could be because of this boxy shape and airflow isn't the most optimal. So a lot of the air, wind noise you hear is trapped around the front part near the side mirror and as it whistles past you as I'm driving. Of course, it gets worse when you're driving faster, so keep that in mind. Now, the next thing is the engine. Many people are gonna ask me, 1.5, is it enough for a car of this size? To be honest, not many 1.5s out there these days are totally underpowered, and this is one of them. You will have more than enough power to go around town, that's of course, and if you want to take it long distance, you can also travel quite fast above the speed limit. Not that I'm saying you should, but I'm just saying that it can. The only issue as I can see out of it is that the gearbox isn't the best calibrated, because whenever I'm whenever I'm taking off slowly and gently from tolls or even red lights, it tends to pull the speed a lot higher for some reason at first gear. So that first gear takeoff isn't the smoothest in the T1 1.5. Maybe it's better in the 2.0, I'm not too sure. I'll wait for a different video. But for now, that's the niggle I have with the 1.5. Onto steering feel is just a bit too light for me. Now the thing is, things will improve somewhat when you go into sport mode, but in regular eco or normal, and that's a mode that I reckon most of you will keep the car in, it just feels a little too light. It's okay for town driving, city driving, because it makes the car a bit more maneuverable, but on highways, when I'm traveling a little bit faster and on straighter roads, that extra heft that other cars have is preferred. It's better if it's a little bit heavier just so that it lends you more confidence as you're driving. That's my main issue with the steering. After driving nearly 4 hours from Dungun all the way back to KL, we are now safely back in Bamboo Hills. Now, trip report and the numbers. The car has done over 730.8 km across 2 days and with around 5 or 6 drivers behind the wheel. Average fuel consumption is about 12.9 litres per 100 km and we have about 63 km left before the tank is empty. Now, before you use the numbers, mind you, this was not easy driving. Make of that what you will. The car was idling for a bit and we also took our time and drove fast whenever we needed to. At the end of the day, the Jetour T1 does deserve a spot in the Malaysian car buyers shopping list. For these prices, it's hard to at least not check it out and give it a test drive before you decide on what car you want to buy. Now, there's a few things that I quite liked about it. There's also a fair few things that I thought that it could do better, but that's the case with any other car in the market these days. But anyways, I want to know what you think, right? Let me know in the comments below and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care and don't forget to follow BitAuto.